You walked past a bird this morning and it flew away. You probably didn't think about it, but that bird had already made a decision about you before you got close. It tracked your speed, your direction, whether your eyes moved toward it. It ran every variable through a system its ancestors spent thousands of years building, and the answer came back in under a second. Not safe. Leave. Most people assume animals are just skittish, nervous by nature, that they'd flee from anything large that moved. That assumption turns out to be wrong in a specific way, and the specifics change what you think we are. In 2019, researchers in the Santa Cruz Mountains played recordings through hidden speakers to mountain lions, deer, and smaller mammals. First, frogs. No reaction. Then, lions and wolves, the predators that actually hunt these animals. They fled. Then, humans. Just conversation. Casual talking. The animals fled faster from the humans, stayed gone longer, were harder to bring back. A mountain lion, an animal with no natural predators, nothing in its environment that hunts it, ran harder from a human voice than from a wolf. The researchers were direct in their conclusion. Wild animals are more afraid of humans than of apex predators. Not equally, more. That's not a fear response. That's a classification. And it immediately raises a harder question. What category did we end up in? Because fear of a predator is calibrated. Prey animals know exactly how predators move, the distance at which they commit to a chase, the terrain they prefer. Those responses are ancient and precise. They evolved alongside the threat. A gazelle doesn't panic at every lion. It panics at a lion doing specific things that mean an attack is coming. The fear is surgical. Fear that outranks every predator in the environment isn't surgical. It means the animal encountered something its existing categories couldn't contain. Something that didn't behave like a predator, didn't behave like a disaster, didn't behave like disease. Something that required a new category built from scratch. Here's what that new category looks like from the data. In 2018, researchers analyzed decades of wildlife records across multiple continents. The finding ran in Science. Human presence alone, not hunting, not clearing land, not making noise, just the proximity of humans caused animals across dozens of species to shift from daytime to nighttime activity. They moved their entire lives into the hours we're absent. The effect was 3 times stronger than the presence of actual predators. Predators didn't restructure the ecosystem schedule. We did. Animals didn't just learn to flee from us. They learned to exist in the gaps we leave. They mapped our patterns, our movements, our hours, and built their lives in the spaces between. We became as fundamental to their environment as weather, something you don't fight, something you organize your existence around. That should be the end of the answer. Humans are the apex threat. Animals fear us above everything. Case closed. Except some animals aren't just afraid of us, they're studying us, individually, and that's where the answer breaks open into something nobody predicted. Crows remember individual human faces. In experiments at the University of Washington, researchers wore specific masks while trapping and banding crows. After release, those crows scolded anyone in that mask, not strangers, not humans generally, that face. Over time, crows that had never been trapped, never been touched, never been harmed, began scolding the same mask the parent had taught them, a warning passed down about a specific individual the offspring had never met. The crow isn't running a simple danger program. It's maintaining a record of a specific human across time and generations, tracking individuals, updating the file, which means the category animals built for us was never a single category at all. It's a filing system, constantly updated, individually specific, inherited. Elephants in Kenya distinguish between 2 local groups, the Maasai and the Kamba, by voice and scent alone, and respond to them completely differently based on years of accumulated experience, not fear of humans. Precisely targeted responses to specific humans for specific remembered reasons, updated and carried forward across the herd. Every animal you've ever walked past has been doing this, assessing you, filing you, cross-referencing you against everything it knows about what humans do. The bird didn't react to your species. It reacted to your specific movement pattern, your eye direction, your speed, measured against a threat model built and refined across thousands of years. You've been walking past animals your entire life and registering almost nothing about them beyond their presence. They haven't been doing the same. Every crow in that study knew more about a specific human than that human ever knew about the crow. Every elephant in Amboseli carries detailed information about individual people, who approached, who stayed back, who came with weapons, who came without. The filing system runs constantly in every animal that shares space with us, updated every time we walk past. We've spent centuries studying animals, classifying them, naming them, building entire sciences around understanding what they are. The question the data leaves open is quieter and harder than anything in those studies. They've been doing the same thing to us the whole time. With no labs, no funding, no written records, just attention, memory, and a filing system refined across thousands of generations of watching the most unpredictable thing that has ever walked the earth. What would we find if we paid even half that much attention back?